The walk to freedom and independence of Namibia was long and bitter, with many heroes and heroines laying their lives down for the liberation of their motherland, Namibia. Some Namibians witnessed the scenes of the last battle that nearly scuppered the implementation of Resolution 435 and would change the course of history. 55-year-old Yesaya Wedeyinge was 25 years old in 1989 when he witnessed firsthand the fierce battle between planned combatants and South African Defence Forces on the 1st of April, Saturday afternoon at Okahenge village in today's Ohangwena region. The Battle of Okahenge took place while villagers were preparing to celebrate the return of their sons and daughters from exile and welcome the final implementation of UN Resolution 435. Forces from both sides were expected to be confined to bases as part of the ceasefire plan for the implementation of the UN peace plan. On that fateful day, planned combatants were spotted in large numbers by the South African forces, an unusual sight at Okahenge village. Wedenge met one of them who told him not to fear anything because their mission was not to cause any harm to anyone. A planned soldier asked Wedenge to bring them water. While preparing to get water for the troops, gunshots rang out from all directions while some fighter planes carried out aerial assaults. It seemed that the Kufut soldiers ambushed the planned combatants who were waiting to be confined by the UN to bases inside Namibia. Wedenge says the fight took place at the bush near his father's homestead, which was guarded by fire, but fortunately none of their family members were killed during the intense gun battle.
Our homesteads and fields were surrounded by Caspers, and escaping from our homes was not possible. We were in a panic and fear because it was dusty and sounds of gunshots that lasted for many hours could be heard loud. But fortunately, when the shooting stopped, none of our family members was injured, neither anyone perished in the battle.
When the fight ceased, the villagers counted more than 30 bodies of planned combatants that lay scattered in the bush. He says their bodies were loaded in trucks by South African Defence Force, who drove away with them.
We didn't hear any information of what happened to the bodies of the planned fighters who were killed here at Okahenge up to today. The enemy took all their remains, and the only body of a soldier who was found by villagers later was buried in the Mahangu field of Willem-Shafodino. The rest we don't know.
On Sunday morning, the 2nd of April, another battle took place at Ondeshifilwa village northwest of Oshakati, where 21 planned combatants were killed in battle similar to that of Okahenge by the South African Defence Force. This was taking place while there were ongoing and urgent consultations and accusations about the violations of the 1st of April ceasefire. According to villagers who witnessed the incident, the battle took place in the morning when the majority of villagers had gone to church. The bodies of the planned soldiers were left scattered and left to decompose for days and were only buried on Wednesday. The monument of 21 Namibian heroes who died in the Ondeshifilwa battle were buried in a mass grave situated in a field belonging to 81-year-old Ezekiel Jonathan, whose homestead was destroyed in the blaze during the fire exchanges between the Kuvut and planned combatants. He says after 2 weeks they saw South African troops returning who exhumed the bodies to carry out post-mortems. When they left, villagers decided to accord the slain soldiers a proper burial, a task which was not easy with so many dead bodies at one time. A monument was subsequently erected at the site of the battle as a way to remember what transpired on the 2nd of April 1989 at Ondeshifilwa.
It's still hurting when we recall how people suffered at the hands of the enemy. It makes some of us feel like crying when we think of their blood that watered our freedom. However, I think something needs to be done to give counseling to those who witnessed the atrocities committed against Namibians during the liberation struggle of this country. It is not easy to let go of the thoughts and imagination of what had happened then.
The site is under the care of Dilimeke Sakaria, who has been the overseer since 2000.